Griff III in the house live to do the doggone thing once again. I want to tell you I appreciate you for tuning in, checking out the show. I do not take it for granted, and I like to always say that because that's the truth. I do not take it for granted when you take your time out to check the show out, see what's going on. So tonight, I had some questions for the new year. You know, people call this a new year, and I'm like, okay, just roll with the flow on the new year business. But for the new year, I had some questions, and it's a series of questions relating to how we deal with each other. And so I'm just posing some questions. I would like, you know, if you tuning in and checking the show out, I would like for you to give me some answers. Call and give me some answers. Let me know what you think. So what I'm going to do is first just kind of go through the questions. And once I go through the questions, I'm going to open up the lines so that you can give some answers. And then also in the meantime, we'll see what's going on, and I'll deal with some of the questions as well. So, first question is, will we continue attacking, bashing, criticizing, judging, and mentally, physically, and spiritually hurting each other for the new year? Will we continue attacking, bashing, criticizing, judging, mentally, physically, and spiritually hurting each other? That's one of the questions I have for the year. Will we continue to hate on others, shit on others, and smash the dreams of others? Will we continue to hate on others, shit on others, and smash the dreams of others? That's another question. Will we continue along as major contributors to a nation that now thrives on and rewards with millions those with the spirit of conflict and confrontation? So will we continue along as major contributors to conflict and confrontation? Will we be able to be more patient with each other and allow the natural growth process to take place? Will we be able to be more patient with one another and allow the natural growth process to take place? Will we be able to live and let live, learn and let learn, grow and let grow, and allow others to do the same at their own rate, in their own time, when they're ready? Will we accept the fact or reality that we are all different, and as a result, how we grow and evolve or digress is consistent with how we think? Will we accept the fact that we are all different, and as a result, how we grow and evolve or digress is consistent with how we think? Will we take responsibility for ourselves and stop blaming anyone or anything else for our reality, our life, our decisions? This is a kind of repeating question, just a different way. Will we understand that our consciousness determines our reality? And if we want a different reality, we have to change our consciousness and not other people and things. So we have to change our consciousness and not other people and things in order to change our reality. Will we recognize that all men, no matter what their title, financial status, or religious beliefs, All men are operating with a very limited understanding of the human body, the planet Earth, the universe, and life itself. Will we recognize that all men, no matter what their title, financial status, or religious beliefs, are operating at a very limited understanding of the human body, the planet Earth, the universe, and life itself? Will we understand this? And will we know that men past and present know nothing compared to all there is to know about the universe? Will we ask ourselves, is our belief system working? Am I at peace? Am I complaining about the children or the younger generation? Will we ask ourselves these questions? Will men know what a man is? Will children be taught that their life is a preparation to bring forth life? Will we recognize that we are all in the same boat? And will we recognize, or will we understand that we are all unconscious, no matter what we think we know? And the last question is, will the next year bring the exact same questions when it's over, when this year is over? So those are the questions. We're going to open up the lines, 860-524-8920. Again, that number is 860-524-8920. So if you have any answers to some of these questions, you have any thoughts related to any of the questions, please give us a call and join the conversation. What I'll do now is I'll kind of read the questions again and elaborate on my own. But like I said, your input is all good if you have any thoughts on any of the questions. Number is 860-524-8920. The line's open. Well, the line is open. So the first question, will we continue attacking, bashing, criticizing, judging, and mentally, physically, and spiritually hurting each other? It seems as though the new normal is to attack people and criticize people. And I don't know, it seems like this idea of attacking and criticizing and judging people, it seems like a lot of people believe that when they do this, that they are helping in some way, form, or fashion. If somebody could help me understand how attacking, bashing, criticizing, and judging people helps people, please call and let me know. Because I'm looking at this criticism thing. I'm seeing it on Facebook, I'm seeing it on television, I'm seeing it in movies, I'm seeing it. It's like the norm to smash and bash and criticize people. And I'm trying to figure out, do people really believe this helps move us forward in general as a human race? Crashing, bashing, criticizing, and judging. Mentally, physically, and spiritually hurting each other. This is almost the norm in this society. It seems like it has almost become the norm in this society. Will we continue to hate on others, shit on others, and smash dreams of others? Now let me explain what I mean when I say hate on others. There is a natural, I don't know if it's a chemical reaction that goes on with us, But something happens psychologically when we hear good news about the life of somebody else. And I personally believe that when we hear good news about the life of our friend or somebody else or whatever, I think it's natural for us to immediately check our own progress with our own life and our own goals. I think that's something that just happens naturally. We're forced to check ourselves. I think back in the day, thousands of years ago, when we heard about the successes about somebody else that we knew, friends, family, or otherwise, that natural thing that happens that forces us to check ourselves, it was more of an innate motivation. But now, because so many of us don't know ourselves, so many of us refuse to go inside ourselves, so many of us refuse to give ourselves quiet time with ourselves and address whatever the issues are that the consciousness brings forward. Because so many of us don't do that. When we hear about the success of a friend or a family member or somebody we know, even people we don't know, we just know them as celebrities, and we hear about their successes. And that natural, innate thing that happens where we begin immediately checking ourselves and our progress with our own life and our own goals. In this day and time, rather than be motivated and rejuvenated by the energy of someone else's success, what we do, because we don't know ourselves, we're not in touch with ourselves, we don't go inside ourselves for anything. When that natural thing happens that forces us to check ourselves, we get so uncomfortable, we get resentful for the success of the other person. And this is some psychological stuff. I'm sure it's in a book somewhere. I'm just talking about what I've observed and what I've experienced and what I've listened to. And I'm saying, try to explain it the best way I can. There's a natural phenomena or occurrence that happens when we hear about the success of somebody else. And that natural occurrence, or that innate occurrence, is we immediately check ourselves, whether we know ourselves or not. And we check ourselves on our success for our goals, dreams, or whatever. Most of us, because we don't know ourselves, we haven't gone inside, and we've been taught by this society to seek outside ourselves for everything. It's like a shock when we go inside and check ourselves, because it's a very uncomfortable feeling. And then what happens from that uncomfortable feeling is almost a resentment for the person who has just had this success. Now, what else? The next thing that happens is if we don't catch ourselves and say, oh, I need to check myself. It's not about them, it's about me. And something about me is insecure or uncomfortable, and I need to check that. See, if we don't check it at the door, what happens is that quick moment of resentment, because of our discomfort with ourselves, starts growing and becoming negative energy, and then it starts becoming jealousy and envy, and then it becomes jealousy and envy digresses further to unwarranted, what I call lessonless criticisms of others. And even if we can't criticize the person who has had the success that brought all of this on, we just look around for anybody to criticize to make ourselves above somebody else. So then we bring our security back. It's a false sense of security. When you look around for somebody to smash so you can feel good, that's a real false recovery type thing. And so this psychological thing is pretty serious, but a lot of us go through that process. So will we continue to hate on others? Hating on others is defined by me as allowing that innate check that takes place to get out of control. Rather than check yourself, get inside yourself, or get inside ourselves and get to know ourselves. If we do that more, then we will begin returning back to the place where when we hear about the success of somebody we know or somebody close to us or somebody, friends, family, or loved ones, when we hear about the success or we're there with them when they experience that success, it'll happen the way it used to thousands of years ago. It'll be an inspiration. It'll be a motivation. It's kind of like going to see a motivational speaker and he hands you his energy and you are so amped up by the time you leave, you're ready to take on the world. But that's what the success of those around us is supposed to be doing. Now imagine a community of people that are having these series of successes, and that energy is constantly being spread around and everybody's spinning off each other and feeling the energy. That's some powerful stuff. So what I'm saying, in essence, is that we need to recognize that initial moment where life and the successes of others in our life forces us to do that self-check. And then if we feel it moving into discomfort, we got to check ourselves and say, okay, I got to go back in here and see what the deal is. If we don't do that, we're going to find ourselves shitting on people. And that's not sexy at all. When you do that to people because of envy, because of jealousy, because you can't go inside, because you're uncomfortable with yourself, or we are uncomfortable with ourselves. When we shit on people just because we're uncomfortable with ourselves, that's just foul. That's just an out of control negative spirit, negative energy, all that stuff. So we gotta check ourselves. And I'm telling you, I personally believe that you cannot be in the presence of somebody who has accomplished their goal or has had great success, and that innate thing doesn't happen when you check yourself. You begin questioning, and it happens so fast. I mean, it's not like a 30-second, 60-second process. This thing happens at the speed of light, man. When it happens so quick that if you aren't aware of what's going on, the next thing you know, you'll be creating a problem with that person, or creating a problem with others so that you can feel comfortable about who you are, or so that we can feel comfortable about who we are. We start creating problems with other people because of our discomfort. So I just wanted to deal with that, put that on the table, and then smash the dream of others. There's a brother named Abdul Rahman Muhammad who does this beautiful thing. I think it's called Dream Chasers or Dream Makers. It's a thing associated with helping people pursue and achieve and stay motivated about whatever their dreams are. And then we had these people who are dream smashers. Again, people who are uncomfortable with themselves, who are afraid of the success of others, and are not familiar with themselves, so that fear of them becoming successful brings that discomfort, which in turn makes you become, or makes us become, these dream smashers. So somebody has this great idea. Hey, I came up with this great idea. And they're all excited, and they be like, well, what do you think? Of course, somebody that approaches you like that, they're asking you because your opinion about their dream is important to them. So what they're doing is they're giving you a certain amount of power in their life. And so they hand this power over to you and say, what do you think? And then the only thing you can come up is with negative reasons and negative reasons and negative reasons and negative thoughts why it won't work, how it can't work, how it never worked. Those are dream smashers. So as you can see, this business about us being comfortable with ourselves and going inside and getting to know ourselves is serious business. Because if we don't, we will become the kind of people who hate on others. We will become the kind of people who shit on other people. We will become the kind of people who smash the dreams of other people. So, that was the second question. Will we continue to hate on others, shit on others, and smash the dreams of others? Let's go to the third question. And anytime you want, if you have some input, some thoughts, you can call 860-524-8920. Your input is welcome and appreciated. Number 3, will we continue along as major contributors to a nation that now thrives on and rewards with millions those with the spirit of conflict and confrontation? And what I mean is, will we continue the path of reality shows where people are becoming big stars and multimillionaires because of their ability to instigate, create, and involve themselves in conflict and confrontation? I always say right now we live in a nation, the rhythm of the nation is conflict and confrontation. And moving with the rhythm of the nation is easy. Moving with the rhythm of the nation is easy. It's when you move against the rhythm of the nation that's a problem. For instance, if you're at a basketball game and the rhythm of the game nation is to stand up and throw your hand across your heart while you're looking at the American flag as they play, I don't know, Star Spangled Banner, is that what it is they play? So, I don't have any respect for that ceremony at all. And I don't have any problem with people that do. So I'm not down with standing up, participating in something that doesn't mean anything. I have no respect for it. Well, the rhythm of the game nation is to stand up, throw your hand over your chest, and do that whole business. When you move against the rhythm of the nation, you can become an outcast. It's easy to move with the rhythm of the nation. It's easy to move with the rhythm of the nation. A lot of black people are Christians. That is a certain rhythm of the black nation. A lot of us are Christians. Well, I'm not. As a matter of fact, I don't even believe Jesus ever existed. And I don't believe the Bible is the Word of God. I believe it's the Word of man, who is doing the best he can to write down what he thinks, what they thought God wanted based on their understanding of God. In the black community, especially in the South, it's very difficult to move against the rhythm of the Christian nation. The Bible Belt, I've lived there and I've been there, and you can be a rocket scientist. You can be known all over the world. But if you in that Bible Belt and you black, and you say you don't believe in Jesus, you will have some challenges, because the rhythm of the Christian nation is no joke. You will be written off like you're a roach crawling across the front of the TV. It doesn't matter what you've accomplished or who you are or what your title is or what you've done. You go down in a Bible Belt with a bunch of black folks and move against the rhythm of the Christian nation and announce you do not believe in Jesus, you will have difficulty. If you go down there, down south, Atlanta in particular, where the Martin Luther King Monument is, and the rhythm of the civil rights nation, you're not down with the civil rights movement, and you move against the rhythm of the civil rights nation, you have quite the challenge on your hand. So it's easy to move with the rhythm of the nation. And so right now we have the rhythm of the nation is conflict and confrontation, and people have so much built up energy, anger, and the real challenging part of it all is that a lot of this anger and built up energy is we just uncomfortable with ourselves, and we don't know ourselves, and we've been conditioned to never look inside ourselves and check ourselves. So we're always looking outside ourselves. No matter how we feel or what we need, we search outside ourselves. So if we're ever confronted with ourselves, that is very uncomfortable. In this society in general, the rhythm of the nation is conflict and confrontation. And if you look around, you look at people shooting and killing people and fighting and arguing, and it's amazing how the television people try to say they're not influencing people at all. Well, you got all these programs. You got Cops, which is not bad nowadays. The First 48 and Criminal Minds, and you have so many shows on TV that are just talking about murdering and killing. All of the CSIs, Miami, New York, Mississippi, Alabama, North Carolina, I don't know where they are, but you got all of these CSIs. Show opens up with some dead, crazy looking body, and everything is just about killing and fighting and killing. So the rhythm of the nation is conflict and confrontation, fighting and killing. And now, to validate the rhythm of the nation, we have so-called stars who are making millions of dollars because of their ability to readily fight and engage in confrontation with people they have differences with. So it's quite the challenge for us to maintain control of our own spirit and our own emotions and our own feelings, because everybody around us is just ready to go. It's ready to fight, ready to argue, ready to debate, ready to criticize, ready to smash, ready to shoot, ready to cut, ready to hurt. Everybody's just ready. We're just ready. And like I said, television, video games, everything has its input. Music, everything has its place in creating the rhythm of this nation. Everything has its place. And for anybody that wants to say television had nothing to do with nothing, or movies don't have anything to do with anything. Movies, television, video games don't have anything to do with creating the rhythm of this nation. Do some research on the movie. What's the name of the movie? I had it on the tip of my tongue. But but it was originally called The Klansman, and then it came out as another name. Can't think of the other name, but I know it had the word nation in it. But anyway, it was originally called The Klansman. I think it came out in 1915, something like that. And when that movie came out, it was a silent movie. And basically, it depicted black people in an extremely derogatory way. And the movie was, the way I see it, the movie was created the movie is called Birth of a Nation. Birth of a Nation. The movie was created to send white people in panic about the idea of allowing black people into general society. And so it depicted black people acting like complete fools, animals, idiots, you know, just acting crazy. And the Negroes had got out of control, and the Klansmen, or the Ku Klux Klan, came in to save the white nation from these bestial Negroes who didn't know how to behave once they were allowed into the general public. And that's my basic preview of what the movie was about. But there were riots and all kind of things all over the country because of that movie. It helped rebuild, get the Klan popular and get them going, and it also created stereotypes of black people that we continue to fight today. And that was just a movie, and it was a silent movie at that. A lot of times, silence is even more powerful than hearing the actual movie, because the words help to shape how you see what you see. If you just watch regular TV and turn it down, a lot of times it's a whole different picture, a whole different view that you're seeing. You have a whole different perspective of what you're seeing when you turn the volume down. So for those people who think movies and television and video games don't have an effect on the rhythm of the nation, do some research on that movie, Birth of a Nation, or The Klansman, and find out how that silent film affected the rhythm of this nation. So, are we going to continue along as major contributors to creating this environment, or contributing to this environment that is now defined by yours truly as conflict and confrontation, the rhythm of this nation being conflict and confrontation? Will we continue along as major contributors? Or will we get a hold of ourselves and put the brakes on and move in a different direction? It's tough. Any nation you in, you move in the opposite direction, it's tough. It ain't easy. It's a lot easier to move with the direction of the rhythm of whatever nation you're in. So will we continue in this way? Will we be able to be more patient with each other and allow the natural growth process to take place? A lot of us are out here calling each other stupid and ignorant, unconscious, and all manner of other negative names, because some of us don't understand certain things that others of us do. And so we're out here, we have no patience with each other. No patience at all. You know, just in general, people out at the store with their kids, and you can't bring a kid in the store. Anybody who understands children, if you bring them in the store, they're gonna want things. That's natural for them to want things. I think it's unnatural for parents to lose their damn mind and yank the kid's arm out of socket and screaming at him and slapping him around because the kid is doing what curious kids do. A child is doing what curious children do. We need to have more patience with each other. If somebody doesn't understand what we're saying and starts hurling insults, we don't have to join them. We can continue to try to help them understand where we're coming from. Or we can end the conversation and move on. But we don't have to join people who choose to hurl insults when they don't know how to present their case. Because that's usually when hurling insults take place. When we can't verbally make our case, then we turn it personal and start hurling personal insults rather than dealing with the issue that's on the table. So will we be more patient with each other in this new year and allow the natural growth process to take place? Will we stop yanking the kids around in the store when children are doing what children do? Will we stop yelling at children at the top of our lungs because children are doing what children do? And let's take it to another place. Will we I'll leave that one alone. But we just have to be more patient with each other. So that's one of the questions. Will we be more patient with each other? Will we be more patient with each other? The next question is, will we be able to live and let live? Learn and let learn. Grow and let grow. And allow others to do the same at their own rate, in their own time, when they are ready. And this has a lot to do with patience as well. Because so many of us just want people to get it right now because we said so. You know, there's so many people that are out here criticizing religion. And I don't criticize religion anymore. There was a time I did. But I don't criticize religion anymore. Because I'm aware that religion works for a lot of people in a most sincere way. It just doesn't work for everyone. So it's nothing I can say bad about something that works for you. It's more power to you, rock and roll with it. But can we live and let live? A part of living and let live means I shouldn't keep trying to recruit you with my thought process, and you shouldn't keep trying to recruit me with yours. I'm watching you and I know you in it. Walk in what you represent. And if the light that you have is shining brighter than the light that I have, and I want a brighter light, then I'm going to come over there and ask you, how did you get that light so bright? And that means I'm ready to hear what you have to say. But we have to learn how to live and let live, grow and allow others to grow. You know, as we continue growing, we can share information. If somebody's not ready to hear it, then we have to leave people alone. We have to learn more, as much about ourselves and our life as possible, and allow others to learn about their lives and themselves too. So as we continue doing this again, we give people the opportunity to grow at their own pace. We don't have to force our stuff on anybody, and of course we don't want anybody to force theirs on us. So again, it's about will we be able to live and let learn, learn and let learn, grow and let grow. Yes, caller. Make it plain. Yes, caller. Is the caller talking? Because I don't hear and hear at all.
Oh, she's on.
Gone?
She's on.
I don't hear anything in here if they're talking. Oh, they're gone. Maybe they didn't feel like talking. I heard the busy signal after they hung up, so maybe they changed their mind. This is a key one. Will we accept the fact that we're all different? And as a result, how we grow, evolve, you know, we're going to do it at our own pace in our own time. Can we accept the fact that we're all different? If you walk in a room with a whole bunch of people, even if you know them, the ones you don't know, at the same time, we're all different. We have a caller. Yes, caller, make it plain.
Hey, Brother Alfonso.
Hello?
Can you hear me, Brother Alfonso?
Yeah, turn it up, please. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Brother Alfonso, can you hear me?
Yeah, turn them up a little bit more, Phil. Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, brother, once again, thanks for coming back. Look very healthy, and God bless you. And you've been an inspiration to a lot of us brothers out here. And I want you to keep doing what you're doing, because it's enlightening, you know, just to hear the knowledge and everything coming from you. I mean, it's really enlightening. But again, on the serious side, you know, I got a question. Actually, I got a few questions.
Okay.
My first question to you is, you've been talking quite a bit about universal justice from all of your teaching. Now, my main question to you, my opening question to you, in your opinion, do you feel that all of us people here by the African diaspora in the Western Hemisphere, have we, can we, will we ever have justice?
Will we ever have what?
Or individually?
Phil, can you
Yes,
ask
sir.
them to calm down some? And you said, will we ever have what?
Justice.
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 Well, I have to ask a
Know that
question. Huh?
Go ahead.
I have to ask a question. When you say justice, are you referring to receiving justice from white people?
Not in particular, but justice for all the things that we've experienced in the white hemisphere.
Let me say this.
In this Western Hemisphere, as they call it, the New World. Whether it's in Jamaica or the United States or Cuba or, you know, worldwide. Let's put it worldwide.
Okay, I'll just say this about that. We can have justice right now. Again, if we kind of saw this whole thing from a universal place. And what I mean by that is, the way I look at this whole thing is like a forest. And there are going to be some dangerous stuff in the forest, and there are going to be some beautiful things in the forest. And it is my responsibility to look around and see how this forest works, so that I can navigate this forest to the extent that I can receive all the things that I need from the forest in order to move forward with life in the way that I would like to move forward with life. So I'm not caught up in the boxes associated with any of these systems or any of these countries or any of this setup. I feel like if I got dropped in the middle of Taiwan and couldn't speak the language or didn't know where I was, I still feel that it's my responsibility to look around and figure out how the area that I'm in works, figure out what I need to get where I want to go, to do what I need to do. And that's just a universal thought process. And that's how I feel. So the idea of receiving justice for anything in the past, or from any group of people, or from a system, or from a government, or any of that kind of stuff, my mindset is not moving in that place. I'm moving in a place where let me understand how the system works, and then let me figure out how to make the system serve me. That's how I see it, and for me, that is how I can receive justice. That's the best justice on the planet, is the justice that we create for ourselves.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you very much. That was beautifully put. And, I think you covered everything, and God bless you. Keep enlightening us.
Well, thank you very much for the call. So, yes, man, we can have justice. The line is open, 860-524-8920. We can have justice. All the justice we need, all of the justice we want. All we have to do is make ourselves aware of how the system works. We don't have to buy into any of the boxes associated with the system. We don't have to buy into any of the isms. We don't have to buy into any of the politics of the system. What we have to understand is how the politics of the system works. We understand how racism works. We understand how the weather works. When it's cold, we put on a coat. When it's hot, we put on a t-shirt. My point is that's how we can do this life thing. Look around, figure out how it works, figure out what we want, and figure out how to make it serve us. Yes, caller, make it plain.
Yes, sir. Good night.
Yes, caller, make it plain.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I got a question for you, brother.
Yep.
Over the years, I've been studying a lot of different things, and all of it has pretty much revolved interracial relationship, as where it is a Nubian mixing with mainly whites. What's your stance on that, brother? What do you feel about that?
Okay, what's my take on relationships as regard to what?
Interracial relationships.
Oh, interracial relationships. Again, moving from a universal place. See, the only reason why interracial relationships is an issue is because white men created racism. The only reason why interracial relationships is an issue is because white men created racism. So what I'm saying is, if we're moving from a universal place, which is the realest place we can move from, then you migrate to what works for you, to who works for you, and all of that is not relevant. I think people should be with who makes them happy and who they make happy, and not necessarily happy, but who helps them be at peace, man. If you have a partner that helps keep you at peace and help them maintain a certain amount of peace and sanity in this hostile environment, it's a beautiful thing. I don't give a damn what the races are. So that's where I'm coming from with the race thing. And I hope that answers your question. Now there was a time I felt differently, but that was years and years ago, when I was still locked in the boxes set up by white people. But, as I started looking at things from a more universal place, I began removing myself from these boxes. And when you see things from a universal place, it just shuts down a whole lot of foolishness real quick, fast, and in a hurry. So I'll also say, because of the environment I was raised in, and because of my personal reality, my preference is African-rooted women. I'm not out here running after anybody in particular of another race, but I don't have anything against other races, and I think there are beautiful women in all races. Yes, caller, make it plain.
Yes, I just lost connection with you a while ago. I just asked a question about interracial relations.
Yeah.
And the answer was very good. But what I'm kind of like in a situation where I'm worried about it, in a sense where I've read over the years how it can really chemically, physically, and spiritually affect your transition or transformation in the next realm of existence. I don't know how much you know about that. I'm not quite sure, so I'm asking you as a person who is well learned, if you can help me out with that, brother.
Okay, say that one more time. What affects?
Well, what was taught to me is that if you're with a person of another race, as a Nubian, it can affect your transition or your transformation in the next realm of existence, in like maybe even spiritually, etheretically, or even, you know, higher planes that we're supposed to attend to. I don't know if you know anything about that, if you could help me out with that, brother.
Well, what I can say is, if somebody tries to tell me, say, Alfonso, if you deal with this particular race of woman in the next realm, you're going to be affected this way. Right now, and it's probably just due to my own ignorance, I'd probably reach for my knife. Because I'm trying to figure out how is somebody going to tell me how I'm affected in the next realm because of who I date in this one. And how do they know that? And who came back and told them that's the case? And I understand spirituality and all of that kind of stuff to some degree, but I think that's getting a little bit out of hand right there. That's based on where I am now. And I could be ignorant to certain next levels of understanding that can help me with that. But right now, I'm not there. So I don't see how that works.
So we shouldn't give any credence to, like, the esoteric teachings of one that came along before us, or, you know what I mean, to help us then. I don't know if that's helping us or confusing us. You know what I mean?
I really need you to speak up, man.
No, I'm saying there's other people here, or elders then, who has learned certain things and have taught certain things to us, which just say to help us then. I don't know should we disregard all those teachings that we learned, or no?
No, I think we should learn from everything possible that we can learn from. And I'm talking about plants, animals, insects, human beings, anything that can help bring us to next levels of understanding we should be open to learn from.
Yeah. All right, thank you, brother.
Hey, thank you very much. I appreciate the call.
You're welcome.
We had some great calls. I will be back next Wednesday at 8 o'clock doing my thing again. Again, I appreciate you guys for calling. I appreciate you for tuning in. You could be doing any number of other things, but you chose to hang out with us tonight. Okay, we'll take another quick one. Yes, caller, make it plain.
Hello?
Yes. You got like 30 seconds.
Can I have a pork fried chicken wing?
Phil. Yeah, so I appreciate y'all for calling in. We're gonna come back, man, and we're gonna do this again next week. I got my boy Phil in there holding it down. I'm over here on this side doing the best I can to hold it down. And I am Alfonso McGriff III. What we looking like for time, Phil? What we looking for like for time? What we looking like for time? Oh, yeah. So, I'll be back next week, 8 o'clock. Do the doggone thing once again. I appreciate y'all tuning in, and I'm Alfonso McGriff III. My boy Phil Marshall in there doing this thing, and we out. Peace. This is Make It Plain.